On the 11th of August, Courtney and I grab our fishing poles and head to the East Fork Trailhead for a trail run in the Uinta Mountains. Temps are good, the scenery is pleasant, and it isn't long before we reach our first checkpoint, a fork in the trail that takes you to Alsop on the left and Pryor on the right. The plan is to go up via Alsop and come back via Pryor after catching loads of fish at Continent Lake. We pass a fairly neat waterfall, too fast to get any good footage. We also pass one of my favorite mountains, Mount Beulah. It seems like the last few times I've been up here I've tagged the summit, and so it feels strange to pass below it today. Oh well, I guess you could say that it is Beulah's day off. Anyone? Alsop is pretty. We find an obvious path up the pass between Alsop and Dead Horse, and on the way down we even see some cairns. Come to think of it, my mom's name is Karen, and so I'm realizing that I'd probably be literally and metaphorically lost without cairns. The traverse over to Dead Horse Pass gives us a chance to practice our rock hopping skills. Now that we're over the pass, it's a quick jaunt over to Continent Lake. Continent Lake is somewhat of a living lake legend that has been beckoning me back ever since a fantastic fishing fest there on an earlier excursion in '08. Court has his line in the water before me, and on about the third cast he brings in a beauty. This gets our hopes up. Unfortunately, the next 45 minutes go by with nothing, and we don't have all day, so, a little disgruntled, we call it quits and continue our run. So long, Continent Lake. A little bit of weather comes in and I realize that this is the second time this August that I've been snowed on. I attribute this to global warming. Eventually we reach our next landmark, Helen Lake, our cue to go up and over. What we failed to realize is that we needed to stay right of that mound. In retrospect, we probably should have realized our blunder, but at the time we were just worried about getting down the crumbly cliffs before the worrisome weather worsened our precarious position. After a few miles we finally realize our mistake, but there's no going back now. We just press on toward Christmas Meadows. After something like 30 miles and not very much vert, we reach the trailhead and are able to hitchhike back to our car from some kind Second Amendment enthusiasts.